Hey guys, Carlos from Immortals Inc. podcast. Got Mike over here on the T1000.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a T1000. I had a T2000 prior, but
It melted.
melted.
So somebody will get that reference. And then today we're going to talk about some 3D printing
Yeah,
and how it affects.
new market, kind of.
Yeah.
Relatively new
Yeah,
market.
how it's affecting us, the goods, the bads, the pros, the cons.
How it could affect you. If you're
Yeah,
a
how
game
it
store
affects
owner.
you and everything else. So, all right, let's take a look into that. So anyway, have you noticed, Mike? There's a lot of 3D printing stuff.
A lot.
There's a lot of 3D prints. You go to there's a place here we're in Cleveland. Well, we're in Rocky River, but I live in Cleveland, which is right next to Rocky River. There's a flea market in Amherst, Ohio, which is called Jamie's Flea Market. And then you go to a lot of these other like flea markets and functions and craft shows, and there's a lot. Everybody's 3D printing everything now.
Really?
It is, but it's still a new toy. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of cool stuff. Don't get me wrong. 3D printing is cool. You know, it I don't see any. There's a lot of practical applications. We use it for stuff we need, like little like things or like shelf
Showcase
spacers,
prices,
yeah, or
you
something like
know.
that. Yeah, get stuff done. It's cool. It's nice to have. Make some tags and stuff like that. It also makes little toys and you know trinkets and everything you used to get from You can make the stuff here that you used to have to ship overseas.
There's like a lot of cool adapter
gonna
things
say-
you can make with them, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. That's the good thing. I like it. It's feasible. It does all this.
Innovative.
Yes, that's the pros. The cons I'm having some problems with because people like to, you know how I enjoy proxies in the magic world,
You
right?
love proxies.
I love proxies, right?
Love a good proxy.
Terrible. And how it affects the market and people play and how they feel and all that stuff like that. So the same thing with, and the biggest part I see it is with Games Workshop. And a lot of people went after Games Workshop because they're like, oh, they went after people for, like on eBay. There was a time where eBay, people were printing or making their own models at home. Like there was a cast way to do it where you like you cast a miniature and you make your fake, you copy their miniatures directly and you would sell them on eBay. Oh, they got them cheaper. Well, that's not your property. You know what I'm saying? That's not your. Somebody paid a sculptor to do that, an artist conceive it, and an engineer to come up with a way to make it. So that's their property.
Yeah, that mold is licensed.
Yeah, that image, that mold, that everything is their property. So if you make it without their permission or they don't get a cut, well, then you're committing a crime. It's theft. I don't know how much more to say that. It's just theft.
They will kick your door down.
Yeah, they would. I don't know. Yeah, they will prosecute you. They did. It was a big thing where they did that.
Pinkertons will show up at your door with their hats.
They're from Britain, so it might not be the Pinkertons.
They're around here somewhere.
Yeah, they might be scarier. Anyway, so that's the other issue. Like if you need a piece of terrain, like, oh, I'm going to make this objective marker and it's something cool, or you print something to add to the miniature, say, hey, like a little rocket coming off of it, or like some little piece you want. That's one thing. You're just modifying an existing miniature, and that's your own choice. But if you come in and you 3D printed at home some files you stole and said, oh, this is my army. Okay, well, the guys playing, the ones who pay for it and come in and support the store and everything like that, kind of leaves a bad taste in their mouth. You're like, well, okay, well, I get it. It's the same thing like Magic. You can't come in and like have a whole deck of proxy because you just don't want to pay for it.
Right.
And then you just, look, I won. That's not part of the game.
That's
man.
why we say it's different if you actually bought those cards.
Yeah.
And then you maybe didn't want to get it messed up, scratched, so you used a proxy. Cool. But yeah, I get that.
Models aren't that way.
No, they're
the
not.
models aren't that way. You make the model, you
You're gonna
build the
use
model,
it.
you paint the model, it's there.
You wanna show it
show
off.
Yeah, it's there on the table. That's what makes it cool. Now, a lot of people would be like, well, they charge too much. Well, do they? I mean, that's the price they pay. You don't, let me say this again, you don't have to buy anything here. You don't have to buy anything here. You don't need anything here to survive. It's not like milk or bread or eggs or, insulin or whatever it is you need to live.
I don't know.
So this is all extra stuff. All right. So if you can't afford it, I'm sorry. If you want to play the game, then I'm of the school of, all right, I want this item. Let me go work for it so I have this item. Then you appreciate it more. If you got the 3D printer, God bless you. We're,
More power to you.
Yeah,
Go to Jamie's flea market.
Yeah, I doubt you have that. There's a certain amount of respect. And the other thing I get from it is like, yeah, it is hard because I can't just like, I have an open store. We don't charge for tables. We have a private game room we can rent, but when you play, we don't charge for tables unless it's like tournament or something like that. But then you get prizes back. But I don't charge for tables. But if you bring yourself in, you bring in all your stuff and you don't pay for anything here, how am I surviving? I'm not asking you to like give me money, or I'm not being greedy.
Yeah, not even every time.
Yeah, that's it's kind of like customer courtesy. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, listen, I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to take up the tables. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to buy something. I'm going to buy one product, or I'm going to buy something you also offer so I can pay for this table. Like
buy a pop.
Yeah, buy a pop. Anything, that goes back to that. Well, the 3D printing, my thing is it kills me. It makes me laugh. Okay, fine. You go home, you 3D print your game. Well, I'm not paying those prices to those guys. All right. Well, why would those guys then continue to make the game? So somebody has to pay for the rule set. Somebody has to pay somebody to make those rules, update those rules, play the game, come up with the ideas, come up with the art, come up with all this cool stuff. And if you don't pay for it or you don't buy it, then it doesn't exist. It doesn't just magically happen, or nobody does it out of love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to keep this game going because I love it. Okay, certain things they do, but even look at like Blood Bowl as an example. Blood Bowl they stopped making it, they didn't support it. People loved it a lot, so they kept it alive. And people did it out of love. They did the other rules and everything. But it was still owned by Games Workshop. So Games Workshop, once they saw that, they said, oh, people still like this game. Well, we'll make new stuff. We'll support it. We'll do this. But, people got to buy stuff. You can't just, go, okay, here, I'm going to do all this for free. It doesn't work. So if you like kill the industry and say like, don't buy anything from them, they're not going to make it. It's like anything else, I don't know. What's something that everybody liked, but nobody purchased or bought or paid for,
Yeah.
Just imagine that. Like say, I don't know, like Diet Coke or, whatever. I can't even think of a product. Like, say McDonald's came out with a new fry that everybody loved, but
Grimace Shake.
Yeah, Grimace Shake. And, nobody liked the Grimace Shake. They thought it was a cool idea, but nobody wanted to pay for it.
Everybody would just pour it all over themselves
or
waste it.
Or they go home and make their own. Oh, this is just like a Grimace Shake. All right, well, then McDonald's ain't going to make it no more because it's not profitable for them.
McRib.
Yeah, McDonald's might be a bad, bad example right now. But, any big company, like anything that doesn't, if it's not, if you like it, that's fine. But it's, if you can't, you just basically support. It's not even support the store, support the company that's making a game that brings you enjoyment.
Yeah.
Like I never understood that. It's like, okay, well, this game has brought you hours of enjoyment and fun, and you want to play it, and then you can't even kick them a buck. You go out of your way to not be a guy. I can't remember. I don't remember the guy who said it, and it made me laugh. But we were talking up front one day, and I'm like, oh yeah, Wizards is taking away the money, and I don't want to give them any money, and I want to make proxies. I'm like, so why? Well, they're a big corporation. They're out to get whatever the corporation. I said, so I'm just a game store owner, but what if I became really popular at this, and I made millions of dollars, and I was a millionaire? Would you rip me off? He goes, well, yeah. I'm like, what? So all my hard work is for naught to you?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, I don't understand that concept. So it's like, maybe that's why, but that's the cons of it.
Could just be the human consumer. Like, this work their way up. They make millions. Okay, now that gives me a justifiable reason to not support them anymore. They are highly successful. Yeah. They don't need my help anymore.
Oh, okay. I guess,
But granted, like you could take those losses at that stage.
Yeah, you take them at that stage.
Out of that.
I understand that too. And it's like, I just don't understand. Like, well, then why would I cater to you?
I mean, I get it too. Like some big corporations are pretty horrible at what they do, but like in that term, like, no, it's like,
I mean, one guy, like say this, I started with nothing. I built it up. So like, it's all my work, it's not just me. That's not arrogant, but it's everybody's work here. So that you just crap on it.
It's time to boycott you. Yeah. There's the other good thing about 3D printing is that, we utilize it here, but it's different because it's, first of all, they're open license products. They're not.
Yeah. If you pay somebody, if somebody makes a print says, hey, here's my 3D print. I'll sell you the print and you can do what you want with it. Okay, that's different. That's just business.
Because you actually buy the...
Yeah, you buy the print and he says you could do something with it. Yeah. But if another guy says, no, this is my company, this is my print, this is what I'm doing, this is my creation, only I can make it and I'll sell it to you. Well, then, yeah, you're just stealing at that point.
You might get in trouble.
Yeah, so, but that's my opinion on it, you know.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
It's very pro and conny for sure. It's
the proxies, if you come in my store and you got a bunch of proxies and you don't buy anything, how am I going to survive? I'm not asking you to spend $1 million every time you come in here. I'm not even asking you to spend money every time you come in here, but come on, man.
We're just hoping you bought those cars before you got the proxies from us.
Yeah, promos. All right, guys, if you like this content, you like what you see, go ahead and give us a like, a subscribe. You can even join us.
You can join us. We're working on our joining thing.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting to be big boys. We're learning how to do this.
But the tiers are available. There's 3 tiers. The cheapest one is $2.99 or $3.99.
It's $3.99.
Either way, $4. You support us every month. Everything's appreciated. It goes right back into the room. Maybe a little bit goes to me, but mostly in this room. We're trying to really up the antics over here. But
did you eat today?
I did eat today.
Yeah, well then, you got paid.
Life's pretty good. But yeah, everything goes back into this room. We're gonna get like $12,000 cameras one day.
No.
I thought coming out of your
no.
Okay.
No, not at all. We're
okay.
not doing that. You're Josh.
Delusional.
Dreams of big plans, but
is it wrong to be delusional?
Oh, sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
All right, bye.